නමෝ තස් භගවතු අරහතු සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස් භගවතු අරහතු සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස් භගවතු අරහතු සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමාමි බුද්ධං ගුණ සාගරන්තං සත්තා සදා හොන්තු සුඛී අවේරා කායෝ දිගුච්ඡෝ සකලෝ දුකන්දෝ ගච්ඡanti සංවේ මරණං අහං. Today's topic is actually seems very simple, like who is a Buddhist. Today's topic is who is a Buddhist. That means we are going to see who is a Buddhist. Now, okay, once if somebody say who is a Buddhist, so simply we will say, the people who are born as a Buddhist, the people who follow the path of the Buddha is Buddhist. So something like that. But actually, what the Buddha said, to be a Buddhist, means on a Buddhist. So that's why I said, so that's why our sub idea, that means under the who is a Buddhist. So what we are going to talk about is actually what the Buddha said about how to become a Buddhist, or who is a real Buddhist. May know Upasaka, Upasika, Dayaka, and Dayika. There's a two terms. Remember the dispensation of the Buddha, that means the Buddha Sasana. So the follower of the Buddha can be divided into mainly two. That is monastic life and lay life. Okay. So in the monastic life, again, there is a two classification, that is bhikkhu and bhikkhuni. So in the lay life, so lay men and lay women. So in order to address that lay man and lay woman, in Pali we say upasaka, and lay woman is upasika. Okay. So sometimes we also use the terms dayaka and dayika. Dayaka means the lay woman, layman. Dayaka means layman, and dayika means lay woman. Okay. So now clear. So now the topic, who is a Buddhist. So in this content we are looking actually who is the real follower of the Buddha. So you may say, okay, real follower of the Buddha can be the monk, but there is two categories. Now here we are talking about who is the real follower of the Buddha, means actually who is a really a person follow the Buddha. So for example, as a monk, we also follow the Buddha. As a layperson, they also follow the Buddha's teachings. Okay, that is okay, that is another things. So who is a Buddhist means actually who really following the Buddha's teachings, or who is really going to Buddha's refuge. Okay, or in other words, we can say who actually taking the best advantage of Buddha's enlightenment. That means who really getting the result, I mean the getting the benefits of the learning the teachings of the Buddha. So these are the things. So in short, what I mean here, who is a Buddhist is, I mean who is the real follower of the Buddha, either as a monk or as a nun, as a lay person, as a lay man and lay woman. Okay. So sometimes we see there are the people come to us and they say they are Buddhist, and sometimes we ask them, who are you? They say that we are Buddhist. And sometimes we see there is somebody said, I am proud being a Buddhist. So something like that. So it means somebody claim themselves saying I am the Buddhist. So now why they say they are the Buddhist, or why I say I am a Buddhist? So sometimes people say, I mean, I would say I am the Buddhist because my parents are Buddhist, or I was born in the Buddhist country, or I observe the Panchasila, or I offer the dana to the monks, or I can say I join the religious ceremonies, or somebody would say I like to Buddha's teachings, that's why I'm considered as Buddhist myself. So sometimes some people will say, okay, my birth certificate is the, it says I'm the Buddhist. So now, in other way around, if you ask a person, who are you? If they'll say, I'm the Buddhist, and if you ask the second question, why you say you are Buddhist, so there will be say these things. Okay, these are some examples. Now the question is actually, can we a Buddhist by birth? Can we a can we a Buddhist? I mean, can we consider ourselves as a Buddhist because we born in the Buddhist family? Because we born in the Buddhist country? Just because of the we are practicing sila? Just because of the we give the we give the alms to the monks? Remember, these things are called. These things are very important, and these things are compulsory in order to be a Buddhist. Still, this is not the final answer to consider by one, say, considered by a person saying that I'm the Buddhist. Because we see, of course, so do you think only the people who are saying that they are Buddhist, they are offering? No, there are so many people, they are also offering. They are also giving. They are also doing charity. They're also giving. That's also offering. Of course, the intention is different, but still we should remember that giving up something or offering something does not mean you to be said that you are the Buddhist. For example, sometimes we say they are said they are Buddhist, and we want when we ask why you say Buddhist, you are Buddhist. So they say my parents are Buddhist, my families are Buddhist, my generation we are the Buddhist. Some people say we are born in the Buddhist country. Okay, you are born in the Buddhist country, but if you do the wrong things, can you consider as a Buddhist? No. So that's why, in short, we have to remember that just because of a person born in the Buddhist family, or just a person just because born in the Buddhist country, just because of a person practicing the Panchasila, or just because of a person joining or giving a kind of donation to the religious ceremony, you can't say you are the Buddhist. Is are the qualification enough to be said that you are Buddhist? This is a problem. So that's why I would say I would say one become Buddhist not by birth in labeled Buddhist family. Why I said the labeled Buddhist family? Because these people also coming generation to generation. I mean, here labeled Buddhist. That means they are named themselves as a Buddhist family. For example, at the beginning, if the families are the Buddhist, okay, so you born in that Buddhist families, but if you do not follow the teachings of the Buddha, so you can't say that you are Buddhist. So that's why what I want to say is that one cannot claim themselves, okay, one cannot claim himself saying I was born in the Buddhist family, Buddhist country, or I'm giving dana, or I'm doing offering, I am observing sila, that's why I'm Buddhist. It is no, it's not like that way. So a Buddhist is a Buddhist who follow the teachings of the Buddha, aiming, attaining to Nibbana. Ah, so a person follow the teachings of the Buddha, and his target is to attain Nibbana. To attain Nibbana. These are the questions. So these are the questions that you see most of the times asking by the non-Buddhist followers. Non-Buddhist followers means especially the people who are born in different religions. Okay, especially some of the Western people they are asking, some and some others people, non-Buddhist people they are asking. So sometimes they ask, can I follow Buddhism? Okay, and sometimes there are the people who say, I do not believe God or rebirth, but can I follow the Buddhism? Okay. In the same time, there are some people who have some idea about the Buddha's teachings and wish to start, wish to follow the Buddha's teaching and practice the Buddha's teaching. And they are asking from where or how I should start practicing Buddhism. So these are the questions. Now, what are the answer? Of course, each and every person can follow the Buddhism. That means Buddha Dhamma. Each and every person can follow the Buddha Dhamma, the teachings of Buddha. So, in order to follow the Buddha's teaching, you do not have to be a Buddhist. You do not have to be born in the Buddhist family. It is not required to be born in the Buddhist country. Okay. Of course, remember, being a Buddhist, at least being a Buddhist, at least the taking birth in the Buddhist family. Okay, in the Buddhist country, of course, it is easier to follow the Buddha's teaching. For example, if I say you do not have to have, you do not have to have, uh, you know, a Buddhist family in order to follow the Buddhism. So if I say so, somebody would say, okay, how about the others religious people? For example, Islamic people. So even because of there is a no faith, there is no clear understanding, or because of the blindness, or because of the ignorance from the beginning, so there will be no any intention to follow the Buddha's Dhamma. So that's why it is actually necessary in order to born in the Buddhist background. That's why that is another case. So that is another case. That is another way to discuss about. So, but my aim is not that. So, Mira, my aim is here is that if somebody wish to start the Buddhism, can they follow? Yes, of course they can follow because the teachings of the Buddha is universal. Each and every person can practice, can follow. This is not only for the Buddhists. This is for each and every person who ever wish to overcome this cosmic suffering. Whoever wish to have the freedom from this cosmic suffering, endless suffering. Okay. Okay. The next question is: do I have to believe the God in God or rebirth in order to follow the Buddhism? Here, one point is very important. That is rebirth. So rebirth means something like, of course, this is related with the karma. So in Buddhism, there is one of the in Buddhism one of the key concept or key teaching is karma, action and reaction. So in order to attain nibbana, follow the Buddha's teaching, having a clear-cut understanding of faith, or a kind of course, this is not the blind faith. This is a kind of clear understanding on action and reaction is very important. That means if you do the good result is there. If you do the bad results are there. So this kind of the belief must be there. This kind of faith should be there. So so in that's why rebirth, what is the rebirth means? Punarbhava is actually if you do the bad things, so you will be born in the bad world. Okay, if you do the good things, so you will be born in the heaven. Still, the heaven is not the ultimate freedom. Okay, so in order to get the ultimate freedoms, you have to overcome all these kind of uh, cosmic world, cosmic world. So, of course, in order to follow the Buddha's teaching, one does not have to have the faith in God. So, of course, in Buddhism, we talk about the God like the Sammaditthi gods, okay? Deva. For example, we see during the Buddha's time, there were so many gods came to the Buddha and asked, ask the Dhamma from the Buddha. So we believe that kind of God. So here the God in Buddhism is not like in the creation theory. Okay, the creation theory we can see in the Hinduism, in others religions, the creations. So this is not something like that. Buddhist does not believe creations. Buddhist does not pay attention on the creation, but Buddhism also have the concept of God, and that God is actually related with the heavens, the gods who are born there in order to, by accumulating the merits. Okay, still that is not the final goal. That is not the final aim. They also have to born again human lives, and they have to again attain nibbana in order to free from this cosmic suffering. Okay, so in short, what we can say is that, okay, in order to follow the Buddha's teaching, you do not have to have the faith in God like the creation theory. Okay, and since rebirth is the connected with the karma in the Buddhism, so it is there. So actually, okay, somebody would say, uh, I do not believe, but they believe a good result and bad result in this life. So that is enough. That is enough. Actually, the reverse talking is the concept or the discussion or the explanation about the reverse is the second step. First step is here and now. So, for example, in this life, if you do the good things, you will face the good result. If you do the bad thing, you will face the bad result. So that is the visible karma theory. So if you have that beliefs, of course you are not going to do any bad things. Okay, you are not going to do any bad things. So in that way, you will have chance to start the teaching of the Buddha. Okay, the next question is from where and how to start it. From where? So now many people say, after having a kind of understanding about the Buddhism, they are asking from where they should start it. Actually, there is no any particular places from where they have to start. Once you understood these teachings, the marvelous, these teachings are great, and this can lead you for the ultimate freedoms, then you can start. You can start controlling mind, verbal, and physical actions. So that's the way. And that is so that Nibbana is actually so the ultimate aim of the Buddhism is Nibbana, and Nibbana is the total freedom from this cosmic suffering. Second part of this discussion, actually, that is, the okay. Now, first part we will talk about some of the misunderstanding. This is the second part. So, people, because of the fear, because of their fearness, because of their worry, because of blind faith, so they go to refuge under so many, the wrong things. So in Dhammapada, there is one stanza, Bahung ve saranang yanti papatani vanani cha arama rukka chetiyani manusa bhaya tajita. That means people, whenever they feel fear, when they feel there is suffering, life is suffering, so they go to the refuge. They try to use they seek the help from the natures. So that's why they are worship to they are worship to the trees, they worship to the the rocks, they worship to the the forest and something like that. So and these things actually start not from the during the Buddha's time. Actually, this is start from the the from the beginning of the even the Rig Veda, the Yajurveda, even the Harappa civilization those days. Okay, so but Buddha said actually this is not the real refuge. This is not the real way to overcome the the suffering. Okay, now this is the real question. This is our real discussion for today. So now, so in the Mahanama Sutta, there is one sutta name is Mahanama Sutta. It is in Anguttara Nikaya. So in that sutta, Mahanama came to the Buddha and asked from the Buddha, Hitta vata ko Hitta vata no ko bhante upasako hoti. Okay, he asking in short, uh, in what extent or how or by what, okay, in what extent a person become the upasaka. That means a person become the Buddhist, you can say. So then Buddha said, Yatoko Mahanama Yatoko, uh, if a person Buddhang Saranang Gato Hoti, Dhammang Saranang Gato Hoti, Sanghang Saranang Gato Hoti, okay, Ettavatako Mahanama Upasako Hoti. So Buddha said, the Mahanama asked the Buddha how a person become Upasaka. Okay, he asked from the Buddha how a person become the Upasaka. So Upasaka means what? A Buddhist. Okay, Buddhist. So Buddha said if a person, Saranangatu, that means undergo, take refuge of the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, he is the person can be considered as Upasaka. So translation is here. You see, in what respect Bhante, that means Buddha, is one Upasaka. So Buddha said, to the extent Mahanama, that one has gone for refuge to the Buddha and Dhamma and Sangha. In that extent, Mahanama, one can be considered as Upasaka. Okay, so that means a person whoever have the faith, and this is so when we say the faith, remember this is not like the blind faith because of Buddha, that's why I have to worship, because of the it is the content the books, Tripitaka book, that is I worship. So this is the Sangha, from that time, there's some worship. It is not like that. So a person have to have a clear understanding about the Buddha and Dhamma and Sangha, the Sangha who are following the teachings of the Buddha. So if they have the great understanding about the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and the person who go under refuse them, so it is called the Upasaka. They can be called considered Upasaka. So how do you go to the the under refuge? So means the how you take the refuge of the Nisarana. So Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, Sanghang Saranang Gacchami, Dutiyampi Tatiyampi. That means I go to refuge. I take the refuge of the Buddha. I take the refuge of Dhamma and Sangha. Second time and third time. Remember now these Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, Sanghang Saranang Gacchami, these things unfortunately become as a traditional utterance today. This is not the simple utterance. I mean, you take a refuge of the Buddha means what? You are following the Buddha. Who is the Buddha? Buddha is a person who is a great enlightened one. Buddha is a person who already, the overcome this cosmic suffering. And in order to do so, how he followed the path. So you are following that path. For example, sometimes we watch the movie, right? We watch the movie. So in the movies, there is so many characters. There is so many actors with so many characteristics. So we see there is some funny characteristic, innocent, good and bad, something like that, right? So sometimes we see there's a good character. So at the end of the watching movie, sometimes we just feel that okay, I also want to be like that man, like that person. Like same way. Now if you say I take the refuge of the Buddha, so you are the follower of the Buddha, you following the Buddha, that means you have to convert your life according to Buddha. And who the Buddha? Buddha is the person who who do not separate it. Buddha is a person who always the calm. Buddha, what the Buddha quality? I mean, all those things we have to have in your life. I mean, in your life is of course you are not the Buddha to have to those things. I mean, you have to faith on that. So, for example, itipiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vijja charana sampanno sugato lokavido anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati satta deva manussanang buddho bhagava. So these are the Buddha's quality. So you have to have clear understanding about the Buddha's quality, and you have to have the you know the the correct understanding as well as the correct faith on that. So and according to that, you are living your life. So the second one, Dhammang Saranam Gacchami. So I take refuge of Dhamma. That means I undergo the refuge of Dhamma. So the what does it mean? That means I follow the Dhamma. I follow now the people are become traditional. So it's like the utterance. So it should not be the utterance. It should be the practice. It should be the action. This is not the verbal. So Dhamma Saranam Gacchami means I or myself or my life should be converted, okay, according to the Buddha's teachings. And what the Buddha said. What the Buddha said? Buddha said, Sabba papa sakaranam kusala supa sampada sachitta paryodapanam etang buddhanusasana. That means do not do any evil things. Cultivate the wholesome and control your mind. So that is the Buddha's teachings. So if we do not follow the Buddha's teachings, but if we say the Dhamma Saranam Gacchami thousand and thousand times, it is not the real taking refuge of the Dhamma. Okay. So chanting and practice should be together. Unfortunately, this Tisarana, that means the utterance of the Buddhang Saranam Gacchami, Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, Sangham Saranam Gacchami, is become a traditional and limited mirror in utterance. So before starting the ceremony, you also Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Sangham Saranam Gacchami, Sangham Saranam Gacchami, say like that, but nobody practicing. So we have to utterance, we have to chant these things with a clear understand what is the really Buddha means, what is the real Dhamma means, what is the real Sangha means. Okay, so Buddha is following the Buddha. Buddham Saranam Gacchami means the having the faith in the great quality of the Buddha. I mean, it's like this. Now it is like a kind of pleasure. I mean, for example, if you do not have a kind of pleasure or a kind of faith or a kind of clear understanding with a person, can we go with that person, the far? We can't go at the same time. So, in order to follow the Buddha's teachings, we have to know who is the Buddha and what are the qualities of the Buddha, why he become the Buddha. Means like that. For example, now you see there is one term called the Abuddhotpada Kala. That means where there is no Buddhas. So during that time period, you do not hear, according to Theravada tradition, it said there is a time period where there is no Buddhas. So that is called the Abuddha Kala. That means where there is no Buddhas. So during that there is no Dhammas. Dhamma means what is good, what is bad. There is no such things. There is no such thing, okay, do this, it is good for you. So killing is not good, the giving freedom animals is a good. There's no such concept even. So in other words, you see, Nahi Verena Verani Sammanti the Pudachana, Averena to Sammanti Esudammu Sanantanu. That means the hatred never ceases or never vanish with the hatred. Hatred vanishes with the loving kindness. That means the argument, fighting is never ended with another fighting. It always ended with a kind of understanding. So this is the words of the Buddha. So how he now, for example, these teaching, these great teaching today we have. That's why we do not think much about how great these teachings are. Okay, but once suppose your life, there is no Dhamma. For example, there is one Jataka stories, whereas where the king sent the some wealth with the elephant. saying that if a person can preach Dhamma, can say something about the Dhamma, what is good, what is bad, so they will, they give the offering. So that time, of course, our Buddha as a Bodhisattva, he went and did the preaching Dhamma there. So I mean, what I want to say is that today sometimes we do not understand, we do not value the teachings of the Buddha. Now, for example, Buddha is a person who said, "Do not separate the people. Do not separate the people, and do not, uh, roll with the people. Do not attach with the people, and do something nicely and calmly. Be kind, be patient, be concentrated." Now, these are there. We know these things very well, but unfortunately, this is only a kind of concept in our lives. It's not. It's not happening in our lives. So that's why that means what? We still not the Buddhist. We still not the Buddhist. So Buddhist is the person who really follow the Buddha's teaching, what the Buddha said. So knowing about the Buddha's teaching does not, I mean, there is people who know about the Buddha's teaching very well, but that is not the way that I mean, there is one stranger sahasam pite ghata. That means it is better knowing a single word if that word is make you liberations rather than knowing hundreds and thousand words. So there are some people who can speak nicely, nicely, clearly, but unfortunately Dhamma is not there. Buddhists actually they converted the teachings of Buddha into the action. So that is called the Dhamma Saranangaccha. That is called Dhamma Saranangaccha. Now, okay, now you believe the Buddha, you follow the Dhamma, that's why it's okay. Now, sometimes some people will have the problems. Why? Why I should go to refuge under the Sangha, Sangha Sarangacha? Remember, Sangha means this thing should be known by the lay people. The monks are the people, monks are the individual who sacrifice themselves towards others. Now, for example, here all we are the monks and nuns. Okay, we are here. We are teaching, learning, practicing for what? To service the people, actually. Okay, for our life as well as to serve the people. And people are the people who should associate with the monks. Who should associate with the monks? Because through the monks, the Dhamma can be known. Who was the Buddha will be known through the monks. So that's why Samana Nancha Dasana, Kalena Dhamma Sakaccha, Kalena Dhamma Savana. That means, the visiting the monks and discussing Dhamma time to time, and the Dhamma, listening Dhamma time to time. These things should be done by a person who consider himself as a Buddhist. Otherwise, that having a big job, having a kind of big company, and doing the big charity to the Dhamma, to the temple, but no one never follow the Dhamma, no one never go to the temple, offer worship and practice, and trying to, and did not try to, to make a kind of spiritual development. That is not the real Buddhist. So that's why there are so many named Buddhists only. There are so many people, so many people, so many people in the society. There are Buddhists in the name. There are Buddhists in the certificate only. Still, they are not the Buddhist as the Buddha said. Okay. So now, do you remember that Astasavana? I said because the people, because of people of fear, because of people have blind faith, so they go to the refuge of under the so many rocks, trees. I mean, the blind faith, blind faith. For example, you know, when the Mahamahindathero came to Sri Lanka, during that time, Sri Lankan people were worshipping the rocks. Sri Lankan people worshipping to the trees. So Mahindathero said, Mahamahindathero said, Why you just worship a tree? If you want to worship the tree, okay, worship the Bodh tree, under which the Siddhartha got enlightenment. That means, okay. So that's why actually the Bodh tree brought from India to Sri Lanka. And he said, okay, why you just worship to the useless rocks? If you want to worship a rock, okay, you bring the relics, put it inside, make a stupa, you worship it. That is how the Mahamahinthero transformed the the non-Buddhist into the Buddhist. That is how. And that was happening so. Okay, that's why I said so. What I want to say is that actually people did so. That means they were worshipping to the rocks, trees, forests, stupas, because they have kind of fear. They need the help. They're thinking if we worship if to the forest, rocks, trees, and these kind of things, and they will get some help. Okay, so but it was not the same. So let me say you the one stories. During the Buddha's time, there was one ascetic. He was teaching to his follower, in order to attain liberations, in order to get the liberation. That means, in order to overcome suffering in this life, they have to worship trees, rocks, something like that in the forest. In other words, he said the way to overcome this suffering is worshipping, respecting the trees in the forest, the rocks in the forest. So Buddha came to know this situation. So Buddha saw, and now time is okay to visit him. So Buddha went there. Then they had a kind of long discussion. So Buddha asked this ascetic, how do you teach your follower, or what do you teach to your follower? Then he said, okay, I teach my follower in order to overcome this suffering, to worship, to respect the trees, and how to say this forest like that. So Buddha said, no, this is not the real, this is not the noble way to uh, go for the refuge. This is not real way to seek the help. This is not the real way to ask in the help. Then Buddha said like this. Buddha said in the stanza. So the meaning of the stanza is like this: one who takes refuge in Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Now I'm not going to talk about again what is the Buddha, what is Dhamma, what is the Sangha. So taking refuge of this Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and the person who sees the Magga insight, the Four Noble. That means the Four Noble Truth, the way and the way. That means the way how to liberate it. What are the Four Noble Truth? That means problems, then suffering, cause of suffering, the cessation of suffering, the path of suffering. The path of to cessate the suffering. Okay. If a person sees this, if a person can understand this, that is the real refuge. That is the real refuge. So that's why it says, and this is indeed, this is means what? Taking refuge Buddha Dhamma Sangha, understanding the dukkha, dukkha samudaya, dukkha nirodha, dukkha nirodha magga. So understanding this is the real refuge. So refuge means what actually? Uh, refuge means sometimes it's like you are in the suffering, you want to overcome suffering. That means your fear. So fear of what? Actually, according to Buddha, fear of the cosmic suffering, sansarika dukkha, the suffering coming birth to birth, time to time. For example, today we are happy, but again there is a time we will be sad. So we wonder will be sad. Again there will be happy. Sad and happiness. These are the turning and turning ups and down, ups and down. But every day is there suffering. So we once we born in the heaven, once we born in the hell. So the suffering is there. The some pleasure are there. Still they are limited. So Buddha said Okay, in order to overcome this cosmic suffering, the best refuge that you can go under is the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and understanding the Four Noble Truths. If you do so, then you are the real Buddhist and you are the real Upasaka, Upasika, and you will be free from this cosmic suffering. So that is what the Buddha said to, to be Buddhist. In other words, you can say, in order to be a Buddhist, you have to have the faith in Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Faith means what? Following, and uh, we have to uh, we have to understand what is the suffering, the cause of suffering, and how to overcome this suffering. If we can understand, if we can make our mind, then we are the real Buddhist, and we are the free from this entire cosmic suffering. Yes. So, and there is one sutta. So, the before sutta, actually, there is a three references you may remember. One is the Mahanama Sutta of Anguttara Nikaya, and this stanza is actually from the Dhammapada. Okay, Dhammapada stanza. And though I did not put here the name, so there is another sutta. It's called the Chandala Sutta. Chandala Sutta. So in the Chandala Sutta, this was into the Anguttara Nikaya. So in this sutta, Buddha said there is a five qualities. There is a five qualities to be a good Buddhist, and there is a five bad qualities to be, I mean, who is cannot consider himself a Buddhist or he is a bad person. So in Pali it says like this: Asaddo hoti. So this is the, so you see there are these 5 points. These are the points. If a person have these 5 points, he is not the upasaka, he is not the Buddhist. So what are the 5 points? Asaddo hoti. He is not faithful. He is not faithful. And dusilo hoti. He is not virtue. He is not virtue. He do not practice the sila. 5 points. So it is said, a lay follower, upasaka, who have qualities, the following qualities, is a is a great. I mean, he can be considered as upasaka. So the same sutta it says, these are the five qualities that can be considered. I mean, these are the five qualities must we have in a person who consider himself as a upasaka, as a Buddhist. So, in order to be a Buddhist, he have to have the faith. Faith on what? Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. I mean, faith here kind of, if you, I mean, if you do not have a faith, you can't start anything. For example, if you did not have any faith on me, you are no and never attain this discussion. If you do not had any faith, like, okay, at least I will learn some things. If you do not have anything faith like that, you do not, you will, means you will never attain like this. So that means, in order to follow, in order to follow the person, in order to listen to some person, we have to have a kind of faith on that person. Okay, faith. So that is there in Sinhala there is a very nice word, that is pehadi. Pehadi means faith in that person, or a kind of pleasure on that person, a kind of uh, believe in that person. Okay, so for example, if you do not believe the who is a Buddha, I don't care like that, so you are not going to start, so if you have a faith like, okay, there is a person who called the Buddha, he said something nicely, people say so let me see, like that. So the first step is actually a kind of faith. Okay, so a person should have faith deeply and with understanding actually in the Buddhism. And if you, I mean, if a person consider himself as a Buddhist, he must virtue. So virtue, I mean, the precept, there's the differences. For the gihi, that means for the lay person, for the monk, the differences. So they have to follow their own that particular precept. Uh, the real refuge, the real way to overcome what are the suffering one facing is actually in the Buddhisms, and that is, as we discuss again, following the path of liberations. So out of that, there is no way to overcome this, and he do not seek that. So in other sense, we can say, in order, sometimes we see, okay, there is a people, go for the blind faith, and because of that they do the so many wrong practices, because they are seeking refuge, they want get some support, they want see the what they can get benefits from there. It is not like that. So in other ways, in order to, so in short we can say, according to Buddha, a person become a real Buddhist if that person is faithful in Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and if that person virtue and will the karma and seek the help from the teachings of the Buddhas, that is really the seeking of the help, seeking the refuge in order to overcome the cosmic suffering. So you see, uh, whether we or you have these things or not. So these are the things actually. So in short, I'm not going to summarize again. So I think you understood this thing very clearly. So basically, I was talking about the based on three things. That is the Mahanama Sutta. Please write down. You may write down. So there is a one reference to the Mahanama Sutta. One reference to Mahanama Sutta of Anguttara Nikaya, and second reference of Chandala Upasaka Sutta. Chandala, Candala, Chandala Upasaka Sutta. So some references taken from the Dhammapada. So if you go, if you check the Dhammapada stanza from 188, that means 188 to, and few stanzas are there. So read those stanzas and you will have the clear understanding. So the sutta, the two sutta I said, this is actually very brief. So from that brief, you can still have, you can, I mean, you can make it expand. You can make it bigger reading. And of course, this is not all the things. There are so many things to be studied. So due to time, we have to stop here. Then that's all. Then thank you very much.